Hello, this is Ira Whiteside, and I'd like to take you through what our company, headed by Jordan Martz, is beginning to enact. We're trying to help folks understand how to approach and think through the current problems that they face without major technology or architecture decisions, but simply gaining information and relying on our age old ability of thinking through things. The title of this particular presentation is Data Governance Full Stop. Why full stop? We'll explore that, but I think with today's immersion of many vendors, consultancies, and really folks using age-old Machiavellian techniques to assure you that if you buy their product or their service, that's somehow going to solve your problems. We do not believe that is the case. What we believe is that you need to gather information about specific issues or causes and be able to quantify and frankly score how important those reasons, decisions are. What issues in your company, uh, from a data perspective, are influencing those decisions, and what can you do to alleviate them before the purchase of any major software or consultancy. So we'd like to do that by introducing the concept of critical thinking. Critical thinking is an approach and knowledge of using our natural cognitive abilities. Uh, Certainly goes back to Socrates. We won't turn this into a history lesson, but I think it's important to know that this has been used for thousands of years. It is the way our brains work. It is a good approach and guide to how we make decisions. And really, can we employ it without making major financial decisions or strategic decisions in our companies without first having the knowledge of what's underlining some of the information that we're receiving today that could well be inaccurate? So basically, critical thinking is an argument technology. If we think of an argument, then we want to be able to begin to make decisions. And we're going to start at the top and work our way down. We're really going to say, does the conclusion necessarily certainly follow from premise or inductive? Are we going to say the conclusions follow some premises with some probability? How sure are we? Deductive, are they valid or invalid? Inductive, are they strong or weak? And we will relate these to specific issues relying on technology available and techniques that can help you in making those decisions. Uh, so if we compare and look at how we would implement this type of critical thinking hierarchy of knowledge, then we really want to follow the actual critical thinking process of identifying our argument, evaluate, analyze, describe for folks to understand, and then interpret and frankly score our results. And if we take and apply an approach that Jordan and I have used for many years, known as the information value chain, then we're going to walk down that approach and follow the logic of implementation. And we'll employ abilities to understand your data and analyze your data, classify your data. Many of the results really are going to be used future as requirements for data governance, MDM, or data quality solutions, but you really need to understand what some of your uh, analysis will produce in order to write the requirements. So now, if we further try to associate that with at a more detailed level, first on the right hand side of the screen, you can see the more technically oriented information value chain. On the left hand side, we've kept in place the critical thinking hierarchy. The approach would be Select measurements. Select things your company cares that matter to its success. Categorize them. Put them in groups: products, geography, individuals, what have you. Uh, Secondly, sorry, then be able to describe. Put some time and effort in. We have simple templates for you to use to capture this information, which can be easily propagated and integrated. Then, after you've done some of that, classify. Classify the information you categorize, which is not data, and the data fields that are related to that information. I don't want to go into too much detail first, and come up with a score. We will help you create that score. And you may apply business rules that you have that are critical. Secondly, then further evaluate, summarize your results for a conclusion, and really at that point you have established a new paradigm. You have really established the reality of what your company's situation is, good or bad. It's backed up by facts and not by judgment. It's not heuristic. It's not somebody's opinion of things. Even if it's a learned or seasoned individual or whatever the case may be, you have the information. You have a way to make an intelligent argument based on critical thinking. So, our leader, Jordan, has a saying that applies. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And we feel that's very important. We want to help you enable your ability to understand your information and to be able to make a decision. As far as we're concerned, that will lead to the details and structure you need to make a valid selection, whether that's a governance product, an MDM product, or data quality. We're not trying to sell the product, just the knowledge. So the company only consists of Jordan March, he is the Grand Poobah. Myself, Ira Whiteside, I am the Information Sherpa. Scott Morgan, who is a grizzled architect, very familiar with our technology, having authored much of it. Nitin Khanna, really our master builder, who also has built many and implemented many forms of our technology for Microsoft, Melissa Data, and many other companies. And lastly, Fallon Townsend, of course I've respelled her name, who I see and is our voice of reason, basically handling our fight. In summary, we want to emphasize our goal is to enlighten and help impart that we have relied on our brains and critical thinking for thousands of years. We should leverage with our knowledge and experience and resources we have and simply apply the logical and cognitive skill that we already have. Thank you, and please contact us with any questions.